In almost every dysfunctional family dynamic, we talk about the golden child, the high achiever who can do no wrong. We talk about the scapegoat, the one who carries the weight of everyone's blame. But there is a third figure, one who exists in the quietest corners of the house. They don't break the rules, but they don't win the trophies either. They are the masters of blending into the wallpaper, the experts at needing nothing, and the ones who learned very early that the safest place to be is unseen. Today, we are diving into the complex, often heartbreaking psychology of the invisible child, also known as the lost child. We'll explore why this role is adopted, the silent toll it takes on the adult self, and how to finally be seen. To understand the invisible child, we have to look at the family as an ecosystem. In a household governed by chaos, perhaps due to a parent's addiction, a sibling's high needs, or explosive conflict, the emotional budget of the home is constantly in the red. Children are incredibly intuitive. They scan their environment and ask, "What does this family need from me to survive?" The hero decides the family needs pride. The scapegoat decides the family needs a distraction. But the invisible child looks at the exhaustion and the noise and decides the family needs me to not be a problem. This isn't a conscious choice, it's a survival strategy. By becoming invisible, they reduce the stress on the system. They learn to self-soothe, to entertain themselves, and to stifle their own cries. If they don't have needs, they can't be disappointed when those needs aren't met. This is often a result of childhood emotional neglect. It's not necessarily about what happened to the child, it's about what didn't happen. The lack of mirroring, the lack of validation, and the lack of attunement from the caregiver.
What does an invisible child look like in practice? Their room often becomes a sanctuary. They spend an unusual amount of time alone because their bedroom isn't just a room, it's a fortress where they are safe from the unpredictable emotions of the rest of the house. Because they aren't participating, they become hyper-aware observers. They can read the weather of a room the moment they walk in, knowing exactly when a parent is about to snap based on the sound of their keys in the door. They are notoriously low maintenance. "Oh, don't worry about me" is their mantra. They pick the cheapest thing on the menu and don't ask for help with homework, becoming small physically and emotionally. Many lost children also develop incredibly rich inner lives, retreating into books, video games, or elaborate daydreams where they are finally the protagonist. But here's the tragedy. Because they are good and quiet, parents often view them as the easy child. They are praised for their independence, which only reinforces the behavior. The parent thinks, "I don't have to worry about them," while the child hears, "No one is looking at me." You don't just grow out of being invisible. Without intervention, these patterns follow you into adulthood. One major echo is a vague sense of identity. When you spend 20 years trying not to have preferences, you eventually lose touch with what they are. Many adult invisible children struggle with the question, "What do I actually want?" They become chameleons, blending into their partner's hobbies or their boss's expectations. This also leads to difficulty with intimacy. True intimacy requires being seen, but for a lost child, being seen feels like a threat or like taking up too much space. This often results in avoidant attachment, pulling away when a partner gets too close because the spotlight feels like a sunburn. In the workplace, they are often the workhorses. They do incredible work but never ask for a raise. They are the colleagues who solve problems quietly and let others take the credit. There is also a pervasive emotional numbness. Because they learn to suppress loud emotions like anger or deep sadness to keep the peace, they often feel a sense of grayness in life. This is a psychological defense mechanism called dissociation. If you don't feel the bad stuff, you don't have to feel the loneliness, that you also lose the ability to feel the joy. If you recognize yourself in this description, the first thing you need to hear is this. Your silence was a gift you gave your family to help them survive, but you don't owe them that gift anymore. Healing from the invisible child role involves a process of re-socialization and self-attunement. You must practice taking up space. Start small. Order the drink you actually want. Express some minor disagreement, or wear a color that stands out. Practice the physical act of being noticed.
Since the lost child is an expert at not needing, you have to build the muscle of identifying needs. Ask yourself throughout the day, what do I feel in my body right now, and what do I need? It might be as simple as a glass of water or 5 minutes of fresh air.
The antidote to invisibility is being witnessed. This is where therapy becomes vital, as a therapist acts as a mirror, reflecting back your value and proving that your internal world is worth exploring. You should also work on externalizing your inner world. If you spent your childhood in a fantasy world, bring it out. Write, paint, or speak. Turn the unseen thoughts into seen objects. The invisible child survived by becoming a ghost, but ghosts don't get to live full lives. It is a terrifying thing to step out from the shadows. You might feel like you're being too much or selfish, but the truth is, the world is less bright when you aren't in it. Your perspective, your quiet wisdom, and your unique voice have value, not because of what you do for others, but simply because you exist. It's time to stop hiding. It's time to be seen. If this resonated with you, please share your thoughts in the comments. Let this be a space where we see each other. Thanks for watching.